Hello everyone, my name is Jeff Neville and welcome to Selective Imagery. Welcome to a visit to Wilmington, North Carolina. On October 10th, I met my friend Tim, aka Mozman, in Wilmington, North Carolina. We went to Wade Park. Here's a few pictures, very few. This is a 17-acre wetland park, and unfortunately, we were not fortunate enough to run into any birds. I mean, you can see you have the cypress stumps, and you have the wetlands areas. You have, very conducive to wildlife, but unfortunately on this particular day, nobody chose to show up. So I only took a few pictures there, and then we moved on to an arboretum, which I had never been to this particular place before, and it was wonderful. I mean, for this time of year, almost mid-October, to find, flowering plants and trees and whatnot with a lot of color and with flowers that were in decent shape is something that I was not expecting. And there were still moths and butterflies around to get some nice pictures of. As well as we ran into a lizard that we spent some time trying to capture as he leapt off this table and landed into some flowers, and then had to try to get into a decent enough position to get some, palatable images of him or her. And Tim and I were taking turns trying to get it. Here it's unusual when you get this viewpoint of a butterfly getting pollen out of the flower, and the yellows were a lot of yellow flowers in that particular arboretum, which was, I can't resist taking pictures of of nice colorful flowers like this. And captured this bee getting some pollen, and this plant had some very wispy tendrils on it, or however you want to word it, and the wind was blowing, and I thought that made an interesting picture. And I call shots like this bathroom shots. These are shots that people like to hang up in their kitchen or in their bathroom. This tree was very interesting. I don't know what kind it is, but the thorns amazed me, along with whatever, I don't want to say it was fruit hanging from it. This was an interesting, looked like a raspberry was opened up with something growing out of it. I don't know what kind of tree this was either. But this park had, a lot of trees that were had plants on them. North Carolina is home, well known for Venus flytraps, so it was kind of neat to see some of those. There are some in South Carolina national parks as well, from what I understand, although I haven't run into any yet, but my friend Bob has. And like I said, the flowers were in reasonably good shape for this time of year. I was very happy. So I'm shooting with the Z9, the 24-120, my favorite walk-around lens. Gives you decent close-up shots of flowers. And is just a pleasure to use. And the layout of this Arboretum was wonderful. I mean, there was a lot of, small structures and little bridges and water areas and, plants and shrubs and trees and flowers, and it was just laid out very, very nice. It was a very pleasant walk to go through this park. I mean, I really, really had a good time, and I think Tim did as well. This leaf was huge, and then as I'm looking at this plant and those leaves, I run across another lizard, and it's not bright green this time. It's changed its color a little bit to try to blend in with this leaf. So I captured a few images of the lizard, and I always try to just get a image and then get closer and closer and closer, because you never know when it's going to take off. So you always try to at least get a shot, and even if you got to crop it a lot, and then you just work your way closer. And like I said, very colorful plant life. So this kind of made my day, and then the beautiful butterflies, which I really didn't expect to see. And it's important to, when you're shooting a subject, a butterfly, you try to get it at different angles. You try to get it, with the wings closed, with the wings opened. Try to get it where everything is in focus. Sometimes, if something's in the shade, that works too. Gives you a different kind of shot. Take some vertical shots. In here, there were these cone flowers and that had a couple butterflies on it, and they were kind of hopping from flower to flower to flower. Eventually there was just this one by itself. And here I like this shot because, I mean, every part of that butterfly is tack sharp. The antenna, everything is just tack sharp. And there's a lot of walking paths to go on through here, and it's very enjoyable. Some of it has a Japanese theme in terms of how it's set up with, the water, the man-made little waterfalls, water features, and the plant life around it. Little walking bridges to go over in between all the plant life. And then this building coming up, I believe, was like a tea house, called a tea house. And when you went inside the room, and there was I believe it was a sliding door, and it was opened, and that was the view that you got to look at. If you were sitting in there having tea, you had that beautiful view to gaze upon. And then as we left that building, I saw this interesting, intricate birdhouse, which I thought was worth taking a picture of, and ran into a new friend, a gnome. Then we move on to downtown, and boats, that dock up against the main road, and those are artwork of Venus flytraps that I thought were really, really neat. And you had people that were, entertaining on the streets, looking to make a few dollars. And I just thought this was neat because the alleyway, it almost looks like black and white, and then all of a sudden you see the pop of color and light at the end of the tunnel per se. And, this is just the locals and maybe a few tourists hanging around. I converted this to a black and white image, with these tables set up in a restaurant on these balconies. Here's our musical entertainment from a different angle. And then we had another musician on another street. You never know, could be the next entry to American Idol. And this elderly gentleman was talking to her for a little bit, enjoying her singing. And then he continued on his way. And coming to near the end of the images, I believe this was the courthouse. I thought it was a very interesting looking structure. And then this was a color version followed by a black and white shot of a mural on one of the buildings downtown. And that's about it. I just wanted to share a few images, and I think Wilmington's really a cool place to visit. And I've been there several times now with Tim, and I always have a good time shooting there. Thank you for watching my channel. I really appreciate it. Please give me a like and leave a comment, pro or con. Just please be respectful. And if you really enjoyed it, please subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate it. And remember my motto, enjoy life, capture some of it, get out there and get some of your best images, irregardless of the genre that you choose to shoot. Take care and God bless.